Jeremiah chapter 29 is a letter that the prophet wrote to the exiles who were deported to Babylon in Nebuchadnezzar's 7th year, that is to say 597 BC. Therein we find that Jeremiah ties their hope of return to the fulfillment of 70 years for Babylon. First, the 70 years would be fulfilled. Then, they would be brought back to Judah. The 70 years were not something future that these exiles would have to wait to start. At this time, the 70 years were already in progress. However, proponents of the 607 argument explain Jeremiah 29:10 by saying that the Jews would be in exile at Babylon 70 years, and the exile would commence with the destruction of Jerusalem, which they date to 607 BC. But again, this letter was written before the destruction of Jerusalem, to those who were already exiled to Babylon 11 years before Jerusalem's destruction. According to the 607 interpretation, 81 years would have to transpire from the time these exiles were taken to Babylon until they would be able to return, if indeed any would be alive to return. If this was true, why not tell them that they would be in Babylon 81 years, not 70? This interpretation does not add up. Part of the misunderstanding is that a particular translation renders the verse at Babylon instead of for Babylon. Likewise, the King James Version translates this verse in a similar way. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you, and perform my good word toward you, in causing you to return to this place. Of course, the King James Version was translated with a 16th century understanding of ancient Hebrew. Today, scholars have a much better understanding. That is why many modern translations are in harmony when they say, for Babylon. The difference comes down to how a single Hebrew preposition, Lamedh, is translated. In some contexts, Lamedh can mean at or in, but the general meaning is for, to, in regard to, with reference to, respecting. Thus, the verse does not mean the location of Babylon, as if it were the city itself, but rather the reference is about Babylon, the world power. Irrespective of a geographic location, there is nowhere to be at. Thus, this preposition is better rendered for, that is, 70 years for, to, in regard to, with reference to, respecting Babylon, the world power. But what does that mean, 70 years for Babylon? We must understand this in light of the original prophecy at Jeremiah 25:11 and 12. The nations would serve Babylon 70 years. At the end of the 70 years, Babylon would be punished. Therefore, the 70 years would be a time of Babylonian supremacy. The exiles aren't told how long they will be in Babylon, but they are told that when the 70 years for Babylonian power over the nations is accomplished, they would be free to return. To get the full flavor of any scriptural passage, it is always best practice to compare many translations and seek a consensus between them. This can guard against bias from any one particular source. Young's literal translation renders Jeremiah 29:10 this way: Surely, at the fullness of Babylon, 70 years, I will inspect you, and have established toward you my good word to bring you back unto this place. The New Jerusalem Bible renders it this way: For Yahweh says this, When the 70 years granted to Babylon are over, I shall intervene on your behalf to fulfill my favorable promise to you by bringing you back to this place. Professor Norman K. Gottwald, in his book All the Kingdoms of the Earth, aptly describes the meaning of this verse in this manner. Certainly, it must be stressed that the 70 years refer primarily to the time of Babylonian world dominion, and not to the time of the exile, as is often carelessly supposed. As an estimate of Babylon's domination of the ancient Near East, it is a remarkably accurate figure, for from the Battle of Carchemish, 605, to the fall of Babylon to Cyrus, 539, was 66 years. Jeremiah therefore builds the foundation for a proper understanding of the 70 years, because the prophecy was uttered by him. Any reference made anywhere else in the Bible about the 70 years must be understood with this foundation in mind, and not the other way around. Thus, Jeremiah will help us better interpret the references to the 70 years made in the book of 2 Chronicles and the book of Daniel.